We're live.
Happy Saturday.
Woo! We wake up.
Light in here.
We've been waking up and thinking, "Oh my God, we gotta go live." We're the people. Our public is waiting. It's 9 o'clock, but we need our Starbucks. Do you want to plug in that light? Plug in that light.
No. Yeah.
It's
my lighting right over here.
Beautiful rainy Saturday here on the 29th of June. Saturday. It's Saturday and Saturday. How many times am I gonna say Saturday today? National Camera Day.
It's gonna be a beautiful day today. I'm expecting a birth of my baby nephew, so very exciting. We're on baby watch. Should be really any moment could happen. So
could happen right on the live stream.
They could. So I'm on standby. I got my phone here.
So if Raina goes away,
the great news.
If she disappears, that's what's going on. I'll take it over, and the show will crumble. All right, so let's get on with this.
So today is National Camera Day, and everyone. I feel like cameras have really evolved. Like everyone walks around with a camera, right? And we use our cameras every day. I do. And it has a lot to do with websites too. So we want to talk about the importance of a great picture on your website, and also talk a little bit about the evolution of images on websites, how they were back in, I guess, the 90s, and how they've evolved till today with the uses of different imageries like icons, different styles that are more popular now, and a lot of designers are adapting. So did you want to do some throwbacks, Tony?
Throwback Saturday. Yeah, I mean, I can show some stuff too, but just to tag along to that comment, the 1990s were a wild time in the internet and the early 2000s. There have been obviously a lot of changes in the way that websites display, function, how they're on mobile, of course, and images have had to adapt because images are large. Usually, when you take a picture on your phone, the megapixels, depending on the type of phone, just an iPhone picture is like about 9 megabytes, which is completely unacceptable for a website to have an image that's 9 megabytes just sitting there. It's not unacceptable if you're really planning on showing a high quality image, of course, but there's many tools you can use. We'll go over some of those to compress images. and to give your user the best experience on the website, loading on a mobile, loading on LG, LTE, 5G, 4G, 3G, 1G, Starlink, in that order. So yeah, let me share my screen and just quickly talk about the National Day. There might be a where is it? Whoa! Look at that! How cool! National Day. It's always ads on these sites. Almond Butter Crunch Day. That sounds good. I don't think I've ever had it. National Waffle Iron Day, which we do have. We have a double on that. Flips over.
Efficient.
Yeah. Didn't the last break and then we had to buy another one?
Yeah, I like this one because you can do two at once. So it's like feed more kids at the same time.
Yeah, and then National Camera Day. Well, cameras are important to me too. I mean, I've always, when I was growing up, my grandmother always had a camcorder, really. She would rent it from a store in Massachusetts for the weekend and like record everything. And even in college, we had a photography class, and it really taught me that photography is not just, it's like a lot of stuff to it, F aperture and math involved, which I know they say just do it from the heart, but you should also know these terms. We're not going to go over these terms. This is not Photography 101 in this live stream, but just know there's a lot more to taking a picture, most usually, than just aiming and taking a good picture at least.
Yeah, it really does take some thought, strategy, lighting, angles, and all of that come together. It is really hard. It's very rare that right away, right, you get the perfect picture. But there's tons of tools out there that give you like the best tips on how to take good headshots and also to zoom into certain areas. And the iPhones now have those features that professional cameras have now. So when we talk about having authentic images on your website, you do have the tool, if you have an iPhone, to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You might need to take a photography class
Yeah,
because it isn't the easiest to capture, but you do have a very powerful camera tool right in your pocket.
Yeah, and utilizing the tools that are on, say, the iPhone. We don't have Androids where Mac and Apple people here, sorry, but I'm sure Android has the same settings where there's or something similar, or even an app where, like on the iPhone, it has the cinematic for the video and also the portrait, where it kind of fades away the background, and you can edit those settings later on the iPhone, at least, where you can go in and say blur the background less and make the person be more clear. So there's ways to like replicate the way that these apertures and all these settings are on DSLR cameras, but you can do it right on an iPhone now too. But like we said, when you do take an image, it's a big image. So the first thing you usually should do, I'll kind of click around these tabs over here that we have open in no particular order. But an image should be compressed before going onto your website. And there's many ways to do it. If you have Photoshop, you can drag it into there. There's tools out there that are not this tiny PNG or tiny JPEG, but pretty much there is the same. You drop an image or upload an image, and you convert that image to a certain file extension. WebP is the smallest and most efficient file size. So when you like do a page speed score, a lot of the complaints from a page speed score result will be, this image is too big. Please use next generation format.
And just to say on this, with the WebP, there are certain industries that quality matters, and it could take away from the actual integrity of the image. I know we designed a site for a high-end restaurant, and images really did matter to them. We optimized it, and they were not happy with the actual look of the image because there were real images of the restaurant and they didn't want that to be compromised. So it might not always be in your circumstance, depending on what the business is. But if you're going for speed, then, and it's not an actual image of a business in the sense of where people are coming and you really want to show every detail, then this is great. In our clients' circumstance, they still have a fast site it does show as a warning that it could be compressed, but we built it in a way that the infrastructure allows for users still to have a great experience. They might not be 100 on the pH score just because they're willing to drop a few points due to the quality of the image. So it really depends. I just wanted to throw that out there because
Yeah, that's a good point.
it to the point where it could appear blurry, and that could impact.
Yeah, it's almost all or none too. So with a WebP, it pretty much takes a sample of all the pixels and the colors and then just makes this general overview of it. So it's almost like a picture of the picture, and the pixel count is much less. So I'll just do an example here. The live stream cover today is 321 kilobytes, which isn't that big, but dropping it into this tool, you'll see here instantly it saved 89% of the file size, and that's 35 kilobytes. That's crazy. And I know it looks like it's a small image to begin with, pretty much. And this is even smaller, but whatever. But if you think about it, when somebody goes on your site and there's multiple images, each one of those has to load, especially if they're on a mobile, especially if they're not on Wi-Fi. So compressing them down is always a good idea. This one, you can't see it right now. If I can drag it into the browser. Yeah, I mean, this is, let's drag it. This is the original. Well, that's not the original. Let me go back. Live stream. There we go. This is the original, and this is the WebP. You can't tell the difference. Look at that. So
Yeah.
the image you can't. But when you start to show details, especially humans, you'll start to see this is more of a vector straight line, so you'll see to replicate it as a WebP image. But yeah, this tool is cool.
And it's free.
Which I have not upgraded, so I stubbornly do 3, and I'll refresh the screen, and I'll do 3 again if I need to do it in bulk.
There's a hack.
Yeah, and there's other hacks too. You can actually run this on your console. I have not yet set that up. Supposedly in Photoshop, not everybody's Photoshop, but there's a export to WebP and Figma, sure. So there's a lot of ways to do it. But once the image is compressed, then I would say you can upload that to your website safely in terms of speed.
And there are other tools that can do bulk optimizations, because when we're talking like ongoing maintenance and the fact that if you're a business that has multiple blogs going out each week and images, there are tools like WP, what is it?
Smush.
What's the one I said? Rocket, WP Rocket, Short Pixel. Is that the one?
Short Pixel, yeah. I think that's it.
I'm like forgetting all the tools that.
All the names start to blend in.
Yeah, Short Pixel, WP Rocket. They have settings on there that they're able to do bulk optimizations. And that's good if there's a current site that needs a full overhaul. You would use one of those. And WP Rocket, it is a premium plugin. Short Pixel is too for
Smush
certain.
too.
Smush has free to a limit, and then it's premium. But that's more of an ongoing solution to stay optimized for your images.
Yeah, and even when you smush them or compress them, one thing to keep in mind is that a lot of these will keep the same original image and now upload a new one. So there'll be all this backlog and file size that gains from doing such a job. My sentence sounded like the South Carolina, the beauty pageant girl, the Iraq and such as. But I mean, what I'm saying is that when you compress images with these plugins, a lot of times it keeps the originals, all that file, extra space, and such as will stay there. One tool that we started using a lot, which you can see because it's saying, hey, we know you're using it for 2 different team members here, is Vecteezy. It's an awesome. It's very cheap. It's like $5.99 a month. It's not the best. So I mean, if you're gonna go to iStock, you're gonna get great images, of course, and Getty. But
They're expensive too.
This has a lot of stock photos. Has a lot of stock PSVs, which are Photoshop files. SVGs we could just drag right into Figma. Vectors the same way, but you got to drop them into Illustrator first, and even videos. And PNGs are part of my favorite ones. So like even with the icon that I got for this live stream, I'll show you what it can do. I mean, what it can do is just search, but these are already transparently cut images that are really big. So one of the things would be to drag, once you down, so say you want this image, you download it. I'll just do it as an example. I know you can't actually see my desktop right now, but it's 13 megabytes, which is way big. You wouldn't think that. You would think, well, this is an icon. But if you zoom in, you start to see all the detail. That's what takes up file size. Yeah. Small image, small file size, big image, big file size. So in this case, I'll drag this into tiny PNG, which we can't because it's actually too big. For me, I right click on the image on my desktop, say compress, and then I drag it into tiny PNG because it has to be below 5 megabytes. But those are just
Another hack, Tony's hack.
Oh, I thought you had another. I thought you had a hack on top of
No,
that.
that's the hack is if it's too big to go into tiny PNG, you would compress it. On your
Yeah,
desktop.
on mine, I right click and I say convert image. I'm on a Mac, and I don't think you have that, Raina, but I think it's an add-on. We should look into what that actually is. But there's many ways to do it. Even online, you could say compress large image. You'll probably get 100 of them. You just drag them here. Privacy, I'm not really sure where this goes, where they store it. You know, but I want to watch out for that. But if that's not an issue,
Use with caution.
yeah, use a caution. And of course, my always suggestion is to do it locally, and you have control. You're not sending it somewhere. So just download the tools, and you can figure that out, or contact us for help. There's also a really cool tool that I love called Placeit, where you can generate images based on other images. So like you see here, these people, lovebirds, are wearing shirts that say upload your image. And once you upload an image,
That's a creepy one.
it takes a little bit because it's a video, but like, let me just upload anything.
Are you gonna put the picture of the camera?
I was going to, but wait a second. It said that is too big.
Oh, so you have to compress it.
How do I do it?
Wow, they're really they're taking a notch up here with these models and being able to like move and see the actual clothes moving on them with your image. It's really
Yeah.
taking it a minute. I always think about Harry Potter. I
Yeah.
feel like that was the first time that I saw like the first like moving images in the frame and thought it was so cool.
Yeah, the moving pictures.
Yeah.
It's just uploading it right now. In order to see the full video, you got to preview it. See how the camera's on her shirt now? Once I press play, it
I
takes
thought it was gonna be on his shirt too.
well, you have to do a different one for his. You can do a different image, or let's see, I'll put the live stream on his shirt.
It can't be the same image.
And you could just upload the same one twice.
Oh.
It's a very nice shirt. I would wear that.
We should create this shirt.
Yeah, with a QR. This is like tune into our live streams. We'll come back to this in a minute because this does take a minute to process, but it lays it on top of images, of course, that's what we're talking about, but also video. A graphic, a logo, anything, a QR, like I said, can be laid upon things, even moving things now because they're taking points and then processing the video. It's really cool, and you'll see in a second. Oh, actually, these images are not cool, but you can see how it could be cool. Right?
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, this is a great site. This is a premium. I think you can export a few, but we do the pro because it is worth it for our clients for different things too. They have like different templates and video templates, intros, backgrounds, logo. It does logos, and if you're talking to a logo designer, I'm sure they would not like this. But if I was gonna say Tony's hacks, you could see how these are kind of weird, but you could even choose categories. Say it's abstract. And these are pretty high quality too. Not to jump into the logo talk here, but you can even remove the background. You could change the colors. You could change the icon once you're in there and have your own logo. Or
Yeah, so a lot of the times So a lot of the times, like if we're working with someone who doesn't have a logo or has a really outdated logo, we'll recommend a brand refresh and a modern logo. So sometimes these are places that we're not logo designers per se, but we do know where to go as a starting point to at least have a logo that looks great on your new website.
Yeah, and think about this though. It's also a great starting point, and you don't have like I'm just dragging things around here and moving, you know. So if you have something in mind, or if you don't have something in mind, maybe this isn't the final destination, and maybe you do send this to a logo designer. But you can really get you can upload things here. You can say letters, shapes, and just play around with things until you get something that visually represents what you're looking for in a logo. But yeah, once you export this as a logo, you should always tiny PNG this as well into a WebP image because these are large too. And with this, you can actually like remove the background. Where is it? Yeah, they're white, so it wouldn't show. But then when you save it, it'll be a transparent PNG. Then you can make it a WebP, also transparent. So these are just some image tools that we use. We used to use those other ones like Dreams Time. Those are free stock Pexels, Unsplash. I mean,
Yeah,
we still use it a little bit, right?
if you pull up Unsplash, I think they used to be like totally free, but now, well, mostly free, but now they're mostly premium. Really, they have this whole. Who's
Okay.
this guy?
This is one image I must have downloaded.
What the heck?
Saved my history.
I noticed going through.
Unsplash Plus, I see it.
Yeah, that they created this whole new thing where most of the stuff you have to pay for now. It's premium.
Oh,
You can see like a lot of images here, but then once you click it, it's like premium. It used to be the go-to when it comes to free.
yeah, I can see this one has a lock on it.
Yeah, so it's a little deceiving now, I think.
Yeah. Well, maybe they'll have better images though. You know, there's a reason.
I'm sure they do, and I don't know why, but I wish there was. It seems like sometimes all the free photos are the ones that there's something wrong with them. You know, like why is that expression? Why is there just some random thing in there? Like there's always something off, like hands, but then you zoom in and the fingernails and they're dirty and you're like, why? Like everything, there's always something wrong with these free ones.
Their
Do
eyeballs.
you want us to pay that bad?
I keep seeing ones that are like pierced in weird places. It'll be like a normal looking person and then a big eye ring or their ears pierced. Nothing against people with large ear holes, but
Yeah,
you know,
but
it's the vibe you're going for.
yeah, it might not be the audience or something. But another tool is Canva. So if you already use Canva, there is a whole photo section once you're in.
It's opening up the app for me. All right, give me 1 second. I'm just going to switch this over.
Okay. So yeah, Canva has, once you're designing, you can go and it has photos, and they even have apps where you can choose like Google Images or Pixabay and be able to pull in images for your design. So I've been a premium member for a few years now, and I feel like Canva has a good selection of those images that are free, and it's included. Well, they're premium for Canva, but they're really good selection of photos. I think it doesn't take as long to find the right photo for me.
Where is it written here? The elements.
So you have to open up a design, and then it's in the left-hand corner on the sidebar.
Oh, you're not. I'm sorry. You're not even seeing my screen. I'm like, just tell me.
So you would have to go to apps. No, we go all the way down and hit apps. For some reason, you're not seeing it, but if you click on your apps,
Maybe images.
add a Pixabay. I don't know. There was an update, and they right there, all the way at the bottom, and now it will show there.
Cool.
I'm not really sure why they did this, why they took it out, because it would always just say photos. But now I think they're allowing for different apps with photos to be brought in. So that's how you would do it.
Oh, I see. That's pretty cool. Look at that.
Now hiring.
Now hiring only camels.
It
Oh,
could be like a a restaurant, right?
Yeah. Oops. I tried. Oh, I see. Can you imagine seeing this? You're like, what do they do? Why are there so many camels?
Oh
Do I
no.
have to be a camel to work here? Anyways, that's how you do Canva. That's pretty cool. Rena is all about Canva.
Yeah, Canva is super easy to use, and we'll probably have a live on it just on some new branding things that they've done to be able to bring your brand and then create ongoing marketing material for all your digital channels and having that consistency. And it's less work if you set your brand style sheet on Canva, and they allow you to do that with the premium.
With the premium.
Yeah.
Just to go back to images, I know earlier you said about like the throwback of images, but images have really evolved. Obviously, they used to be just I don't even know what came before.
Very like cartoon clip arty. I
Yeah,
remember
style
from the
of it.
90s. Yeah.
Yeah, the styles of images have definitely changed. GIFs or GIFs were popular, of course, things that were spinning around. But just in terms of file size, I mean, you went from this JPEG that was it pretty much. There was JPEGs, and they became bigger with TIFFs, and PNGs came down the line, and they allowed transparency, and then GIFs somewhere in there. But these are bigger. They get bigger and bigger almost in file size until recently, where WebP and there's another one, but I think it's Google specific. Unless it's WebP that's Google's. I forget. But
so when it comes with the evolution, when it started out with those clip arts and then the images got bigger, and then Google noticed there was a lag of just like user experience, right? Is that really what happened with that? And then it became a ranking factor with page.
Yeah. Probably because they would say like this person visited this site and then they didn't even look at it because it took too long to load. So it goes down a ranking,
Mm-hmm.
and they probably just made their own internal rules saying, well, follow our rules. Just like remember AMP? I don't know. I think that AMP
for the
still
mobile.
exists,
Yeah, it does.
but they really try to get a stranglehold on mobile, meaning that a site wouldn't even show up if it was AMP, if it wasn't AMP. And AMP is like a very proprietary way to display a website without JavaScript, without much JavaScript or CSS, and just like a framework that Google provides you with and says, this is how you should load your content. But I don't really see any of these sites anymore. I never liked them either because
I feel like AMP was a phase where everyone was like, when the mobile first came out and trying to get the highest score and the experience, there was a whole thing rush to creating your own AMP site. It was like a whole different design for the actual desktop site.
Yeah.
And it did work really fast, like when you had an AMP site. But it was also, to me, it was very inconsistent to the brand. There was literally a whole nother site.
Yeah. You can only have like colors.
And it wouldn't look like it because you had to cut back on images. You had to cut back on the whole experience of the desktop.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know, it's still around, but
yeah, that and progressive web apps are around. I think they're probably getting more popular. They kind of took the place of AMP. I'm gonna say, you can disagree with me, whoever's listening, but like there are ways to display the site faster, progressively, like literally in the name progressive web application. So I don't know, but I mean, websites are websites. There's AMP sites, which are a little different. They get fed into the browser differently, and progressive web apps are the same way. They're getting loaded via. Is the baby here?
No, no. So the baby is not here. I was just looking at my I thought I saw a baby on my screen, and I was like, oh my gosh! But it's actually my other brother just had a baby boy. Shout out to Adonis, and I saw his beautiful baby face, so I was distracted.
I was like, Rena, come back. I'm flailing.
There's a baby on my screen. I just love babies. They're so precious.
Me too.
They make me so happy when I can't wait to meet my nephews. Anyways, continue.
I can't wait to have another one.
I gotta go.
I should drop that. I gotta go too.
Oh no.
One thing I was gonna say about images is source sets, which is a way on the site, which is normal on a WordPress site, it does it if you have it enabled and you have the right theme. When you put an image in, it gives you a set of images. So meaning in this HTML code, it says, is the screen width this size? Then show this image. Is it this size? Then show this image. Is it this size? Show this image. So that lets the browser say, hey, this person's coming from a phone. Let me show the smallest image possible because they don't need the whole giant experience of a large image. So that's one way to prevent loading of large images, but obviously you need to have that coordination of saying, well, this is going to have a small variation, a medium, and a large. And I think you can go anywhere. You can go pixel by pixel if I'm not incorrect, meaning you could say from 789 to 787, let's go backwards, show this image, and so on and so forth. I will not go through every pixel. That would be crazy.
Whew. Just
From 787 to 786. You could put this.
Please spare us. Too many pixels.
Yeah, but pixels are everything. I mean, there's media queries are a big thing that I feel like Reina has gone a lot better with them, and I think everybody should know how to do them. If you have a website and you just want to do a quick fix and something looks crazy, if you know how to do a thing called a media query, which is pretty much saying at this width, or other settings as well, but mostly we use it for widths. At this width on a screen, do this with something, an element, a logo, make it smaller.
Yeah, and it globally does it, so it saves time. If you know how to do a media query, you do it globally in one place.
Yep.
So it takes away from the.
Yeah, hopefully it's globally, right? Sometimes you get on the site.
Yeah, it depends on if there's a class that can group them all together.
Yeah.
And if there's not, you can add one and so forth. So
yeah, sometimes. Or you gotta start from
there's always like these circumstances, like best case, maybe this way. If not, then
yeah,
there's so much troubleshooting involved in just figuring out how to kind of group things depending on the infrastructure of the website. But
yep.
It is a tool.
If the site was developed by us, there's usually mostly a very good cohesive consistency with classes and like sections. But when you get sites from other people, you don't know what you're getting, and not to say or whatever on other people, but some people don't know what they're doing, or they've just been made by a website builder who didn't take into effect that this CTA is on every page. Why not give it this individual, unique, class? Can I say the word traverses again? Every live stream, it traverses over your site, and
that reminds me of like time travel or something. When you say that,
oh really? I probably when I think it
over dimensions, or I don't.
When you traverse throughout the dimensions,
you're at the website world, the Matrix.
Unplug from the Matrix, Morpheus. Dude,
I don't think he says dude.
He sounds like he should. Dude, what? AI? I do like Keanu Reeves. Everybody does. God help, like if anything crazy comes out about Keanu Reeves, right?
I know. I'd be so shocked. He's like the only normal one in Hollywood.
Yeah, like overly normal too, which would make sense. You'd be like, of course, he was hiding this whole time. This crazy thing from he's riding the buses. He's so normal.
He's pretty down to earth.
He's like a cannibal, worse than Army Hammer.
Oh no. Don't take away his innocence.
You know what's coming up?
What?
The BET Awards tomorrow.
Oh no.
We're gonna do our own BET award streaming. We should like a live stream where we stream it this whole time. We're like,
no,
we get shocked more every year. We get older, obviously.
You would just see our reactions as we watch these performances.
It's like blocking my eyes. I can't even. I have to go sit down on the couch and look at
I know.
Like Ice Spice, please. Yeah, we love award shows less and less, honestly, as I get older. But the ones that are good are the music ones, like MTV Music Awards, which are canceled this year. What? BET, country. I don't really go with it. There's not many other ones. Tony Awards, which my Aunt Donna, shout out to my Aunt Donna, who's loved this earlier. she's like, "Are you watching the Tony Awards?" And I said, well, ironically, even though my name is Tony, I do not like the Tony Awards. But and you would think I love musicals, I like that kind of stuff, but not that much to watch these play or those soap opera morning award shows or any of those. I can't. Emmy, those are getting worse. Anyways, enough complaining. BET Awards, be there, be square. 9 p.m. I think on Sunday. Look it up. And there's pre-shows too.
Yeah, I'll have to check some of those out and hope for the best this year.
Yeah, I know. What else is going on this weekend? Right now is
Oh, it's raining right now.
raining. Yeah.
And I will be heading to Artique. Shout out to Artique. I'm going to work there for most of the morning and afternoon.
Yeah.
And
Just say what Artique is again, because most people,
yeah, if you're in upstate New York, you should visit Artique, right in Clifton Park. They also have a location in Cross Gates. It is a co-op for artisans, artists, really small business owners who have a product and want to sell it. They're part of this co-op where we all kind of work certain schedules at the store, and we are just small business, local vendors selling our creations. So it's a really unique spot. If you love walking through cute little boutiques, that's the place to go because it's super unique, and the vendors switch it out. They have new creations each season, and it's an experience. So unique gifts for any occasion. 4th of July is coming up, so they have some really cool decor there, and really anything. So I love it there. It's a nice community. Everyone supports each other, and we have jewelry that we sell there. And my daughter, she crochets, so she has her little creations there too. So you'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's a cool. Anyways, and she's working there today.
Yeah, I'm leaving Tony. Tony's holding down the house today.
Will it be standing? I'll be live streaming the whole time to you. Like, how's work, baby? Is everything good at work?
When are you coming home?
Just like flames behind me, throwing pizzas in the air. Child, the diaper flies by for no reason.
We don't even have any kids in diapers.
Yeah, Artige is cool because it's like all different vendors, and you never know what's going to be there because they all do switch out. So when you go there, they're usually the same style of things. Like if somebody does woodcraft, their stuff is woodcraft, but the products are new.
Yeah.
It's a nice store though. So you work at what, 11 or 12?
11.
11 o'clock. So we have an hour. Let's see. What else? We just freeze up.
I think just a general conversation about where do you think images are going to go in the future? Like we went through like this very clip art cartoon, then we went to like bigger images and icons. Icons are super popular now. And now it seems to be back to that kind of like process driven, but cartoon like on one sense. And then another is like real imagery, like authentic actual images, and with the use of motion, like videos and things like that. But I don't know. I kind of just wonder if it's what direction it's going to go into. Is it going to be more fantasy like, right?
Yeah, style wise.
Yeah, style.
Trying to pull up my crystal ball. You ready?
Real.
Oh, do you like it? That's my crystal ball to show where images are going to go.
You should have put the Cleo hat on you.
Oh, no. Hello, my people. We will tell you where images will go. I think images are going more and more towards vector, really. Vector images are like regular images, but instead of pixels, like dots that make up an image, it's math, it's lines and curved lines and colors and fills and strokes. And it's pretty much a file that has a bunch of paths and lines, and that generates this image. And you can imagine without all the pixels that the file size is very, very small. And you can do things with that code, like animate it. You can target everything with CSS. I don't know if you know that right now. I found that like really about a year ago that on an SVG, when you look at the code, you can add a class, like a helper class on any of the lines.
I think you did tell me this.
Really?
And I thought, I was like, well, how do you locate exactly where? Because
Yeah, it's a little weird to
if
do
you look
that.
at an SVG, it's a series of numbers and letters and things like that. And messing that up could mess up the image, right?
Yeah, I think, but if you keep things the same and just say, sometimes you have to guess, I guess. There's probably ways to do it in Illustrator though, by seeing it or even adding a class in Illustrator. But if it's a simple SVG and it has 2 lines, you could say, this path I want to assign this class to. And then in a CSS, you can actually target it and say, I want this class to have a transition in red. So you can animate images, really. I think that's where the future of images is right now. And in terms of style, bold, purples and 3D and bubbly. I think it's making it look very corny. But
Are you going to show an example? Or not?
I could, yeah. Let me just open up something over here. Give me a second.
Yeah, I could see that in certain industries. Can't see it accepted through all, you know?
Yeah. Might be taking over. Let's just these sites. Let me share my screen. I don't know if this site is really but you can see these bubbles straight up.
Oh, yep.
It's almost like this overboard. When we watched the video, it was saying it was like from the 70s, kind of like this art
It looks like a
avant-garde.
balloon.
Yeah, like balloon bubble letters, like bubble gum. You can see here though, everything's really like bam in your face. This is that old style. I wouldn't see this coming back, but even this is like that AI generated bold colors, a lot of purples. Everything's purple. See all these purples? These are called don't tell me masonry grids. I lost my mind for a second. What's an H1? Masonry grid is a grid that pretty much, it looks like there's different, you see how there's like 2 and 1 stretching and then a small one, and things kind of fit into a spot. And this is usually used using CSS's display grid. There's many ways you could do it, but you can target the rows and the columns to make a nice, unique, and mobile responsive layout. AI powered canvas, that's not going anywhere. They're lying. Classic gets a comeback. So like vintage, see these fonts from like 1960s and
Yeah,
70s.
that's what I feel like. I feel like there's going to be like a history coming back. Like there is like some type of pattern when it comes to what was then ends up like creeping back with the
Yeah.
little clips.
You know why I think that happens too? I was thinking about this.
History repeating itself.
Kinda, yeah. I think that a lot of these styles come back because the age of the people. So now I'm 42. I'm at that age where not really, but I could buy things that are more expensive. So these companies that are like larger target me by using these older 1980s type styles.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was feeling even the other day, I think in the 90s there was like a big resurgence of 1950s style, and those people will be about 40 years old. So take it with a grain of salt. But I think it's true because now, what is it, 2024? We're going to start to see 1990s styles,
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I actually think I really agree with that. That is the way of thinking. It makes sense from a psychology standpoint.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, good morning, Arlandon. How are you? Are you okay? This tooth is weird. I'll be right back. You continue.
Oh. Uh-oh. All right. So yeah, our 5-year-old just woke up. He had a late night last night, so let's check him out, see if he's okay. But anyways, back to the images. It's going to be interesting. I feel like there's going to be a lot of pops of colors happening and different 3D dimensional graphics that are going to really pop. Is he okay?
I pulled all his teeth out. Look, it's Rick Ross.
Oh.
Weird. I think that's Rick Ross. Sorry, Rick Ross. We still want to do your website. Never mind what I just said. Yeah, but look, remember the mascot boom of the 90s? It's back, baby. How rad.
I know.
Sorry,
it's
I
creepy.
interrupted you while you were talking.
No, I was just talking about pops of colors and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Immersive 3D design. I mean, I guess.
I can't really see that.
Oh. It's just like things, I don't know. It's kind of like over the top. But I don't know. Styles come back. Styles evolve. It's from a song. I'll close that, but let me take out this crystal ball. That was our prediction. Ooh.
So we'll see what happens.
We should do a prediction every show. We should have a little screen that has like where we both have little hats on or something. We predict things that are not even just web stuff, like things like birth.
Yeah, usually it's like, well, from just a website standpoint, but predicting what's going to happen the next year, what the focus is, it would be good to just kind of see what we think and then to come back to it and say, this is what actually happened. We were wrong, or wow, we were right on this,
Yeah.
We'll
probably be like, oh, remember we thought, yeah. Remember we thought the internet was still going to be a thing as we were like huddled around a fire in the woods or something. We'll be like, we were really off. We were talking about image vectors becoming a thing with our crystal ball. Remember live streaming?
Oh no, you're talking about the end of the world or something. No internet. All right. Well, I think we covered everything.
Yeah. We hope you go forth in your day. You have a final word? I can open you up and let's see here.
Yeah. So I think today my final word is to no pressure. No. So my final word, really relating it to photography and images, it's important to capture moments in life and to kind of reflect on those moments. And I think if you have a business, even in your personal life, to take a moment, really take it for what it is, reflect on it, and really enjoy the journey of where you are at the moment. So cameras are a tool that we can really use to really capture those moments. But I think the reflection part is so important, and to really take more time in reflecting on what that image or that moment means to you, whether it be in your personal life or in your business. The journey is really important. And even if you're just starting off or in the beginning, enjoy that moment of whether it is kind of you're building your business and things like that, and you're not quite there yet, or the fact that you are and you're enjoying a project and kind of revel in that. I think that's important. So that was the longer final words.
Very beautifully stated. So good at this.
Thank you.
I love my life. Yeah, so do that. What she said.
Capture the moment.
Capture that moment.
Reflect.
Reflect. I have a whole box of those pictures upstairs. Speaking of pictures and stuff, I want to put them in a.
Or make a scrapbook because you have too many pictures.
Yeah, they're all pictures of me, like as a baby, as a teenager, everything.
I guess save it for Lando.
Like, why do I want all these pictures? All right, let's play us out here.
All right, everyone have a beautiful Saturday and enjoy this day. Capture those moments.
Yeah.